Gioia, I'm Vice President Economist to CBIA, and with me is Jay Sattler, partner from BlumShapiro. And we're pleased to share with you some of the results from the CBIA BlumShapiro 2009 survey of Connecticut businesses. I think from what we've heard so far at the conference, I think a lot of what came out of this survey has been reinforced. Certainly, we're going to have some challenges in the economy. And if you take a look at where folks are seeing on economic recovery, technical recovery, as the economists were saying, may well take place even as we speak now. But in terms of a full recovery where there's some robustness in the system, as you can see from our respondents, that they're basically thinking that it's going to be certainly 2010, 2011 before what we see the U.S. overall 2010. So there's going to be certainly some challenges with that. I think that that also is going to affect things such as business profitability. The survey that we did last year was certainly much more optimistic in terms of profitability. There's some challenges with that going forward. So, I think we are in some pretty challenging times with this, and I think that points to the need for us to have a situation where we create as positive pro-growth environment as we can. I'd like to have Jay Sattler talk a little bit about what are some of the things businesses are trying to do right now to position themselves for that recovery when it comes.
Thanks, Peter. As he indicated, and as you heard a little bit this morning, one of the things the survey does tell us is that the downturn in the economy the last year or two certainly has had an impact on our Connecticut businesses and their profitability. From a positive standpoint, though, there does seem to be a fair amount of optimism that you can find within the survey itself. As Peter just alluded to, businesses were actually asked to talk about what they think the business climate is going to look like in the year 2010 and 2011. And the vast majority of those businesses are expecting growth, albeit perhaps some slow growth. Another positive indicator is businesses were asked to talk about their investment perspective as it relates to new products and services and research and development activities, which I think is referenced right behind me on this particular slide. And the nice trend there is that an increasing number of businesses are, in fact, intending to launch new products and services and invest more and more dollars in research and development. I think anytime you have that situation, that's a clear indication that there's some optimism out in the marketplace. And more importantly, Connecticut businesses were asked to touch upon their status as it relates to qualified workers and being able to attract and find qualified workers in the state. And that was some promising information that came from that. The vast majority of our Connecticut businesses are finding some success in trying to locate qualified workers, which again, when you combine those different aspects of research and development, new products and services, being able to tap into the talent pool that we have in the state and finding success in finding these qualified workers, those really spell some renewed optimism that I think we see out in the marketplace, and those are some of the key trends that you should take away from this year's survey.
And certainly I think following up on all that is that I think we've got some challenges here in terms of some business confidence issues, and one of them is certainly confidence in terms of the state legislature. When we asked, what sort of impact does actions from the state legislature have in your business, negative or very negative was 70% of the respondents. And this is despite the fact that nearly 60% of them actually communicate their concerns with the General Assembly. As was mentioned by the two speakers that we had earlier today, there's some real need for positive rather than negative government action within the economy. And part of what Ray Rosen was saying was there's an opportunity for growth and investment as you pull out of a recession, and where's that going to go? I think that's an essential challenge going forward if we're going to have a situation where we're going to outperform the projections of those two economists in terms of job recovery, because, whereas technical recovery they thought was going to be reasonably good, certainly the job recovery I think is going to be much more challenged going forward. And I think that with the inventory cycle, particularly what we're seeing with companies in terms of the development of new products, in terms of what they're going to use, I think the B2B is going to be certainly business to business a little bit stronger than what we're going to see in the consumer sector going forward, particularly in the short term. But we really do need to take advantage of any opportunity that we can to position this state so that folks will rather make their investments here rather than elsewhere when time comes to do that.